Honorable Minister of States, Shri Bandi Sanjay ji, Pujya Swamini Suvidya Amrita ji, Shri Dasari Kondappa ji, Brahmasri Samavedam Shanmukha Sharma ji, and our Acharya, in the true sense of the word, one who achinoti hi shastrani, acharye stapayityapi. I have used that word with clear meaning itself. In the true sense of the word Acharya, our Padma Shri T. Hanuman Chaudhary Garu, those who are attending this a sort of curtain raiser program for Lokmanthan. Today we are forming and announcing formally the reception committee of Lokmanthan, and there are some other programs also included in this August program: release of a book, opening of our site, Lokmanthan site, and also from today onwards, the people who intend to participate in Lokmanthan can register their name. Lokmanthan is open for all, those who really love this nation, those who really give much importance to nation. That's what which our respected minister has already said. Nation first. Lokmanthan is a colloquium of nation first thinkers and practitioners. In short, we can define Lokmanthan in that way. Nation first thinkers and practitioners are coming on a single platform. It is actually to find out the true meaning of Bharatiya culture, Bharatiya Sanskriti, and to identify the great knowledge tradition of this great nation, and to celebrate that knowledge, and to re-establish that knowledge at the heart of this nation. Already our nation has got that knowledge. Somebody may think, what is new in it? But one thing all well-meaning people are quite aware of, that the real knowledge tradition of this land, the Bharatiya knowledge tradition, Bharatiya Jnana Parambara, has been sidelined or neglected or ridiculed even by some people with a real clear intention. With some bad intention, some people who are leading some political parties, considering themselves as intellectuals, liberals, seculars, they are all attacking, they are all making binary in our society, in our nation. As Mughal attackers, invaders have done in those days, what which has been followed by the colonialist, the very same thing is being repeated by some self-proclaimed seculars and liberals and intellectuals or academicians. We all expected the knowledge of this land, which was similar and same, which was been practiced by all groups of the society, no matter whether they were living in the forests, in the mountains, in the hills, in the villages, in the dehat, and can be in the towns. All groups, all communities, they were all following the real one culture of this land. Yes, it has got multi-layers, there is no doubt about that. Some are saying that here in Bharat it is multiculturalism. But actually, it is not multiculturalism. It is the multi-layers, several layers of one culture. So, That culture will be reinvented once we got freedom. That was our expectation. Mughals or Muslim invaders have got their own intentions to divide us, to rule us. Colonialists have got their own purposes in introducing their own colonial Western education system and considering the society as different groups and instigating war against them. Mainly they have divided our society into two. Mainly, I'm saying they have made so many groups, but mainly as far as the intellectual knowledge domain is concerned, they divided us into urban dwellers or the city dwellers and so-called, here our Giridhar Mamdigaru has already mentioned about that folk word. They have considered our own brothers, I have already mentioned, those who were really made, created our culture, nurtured it, saved it. Such people who are living, maybe they are living in the mountains or forest, they called them, these colonial masters called them as folk. What is the meaning of folk? We are considering it as the translation of Lok, translation of Janapad, translation of indigenous. No, never. That's not the real translation of Lok. That's why we are releasing one book today, Lok Beyond Folk. It is far beyond folk. Why we are insisting upon that? What is the meaning of the folk? In West, it is known as inhuman. It is barbarians, non-civilized, non-scientific, Dakhiyanusi, backward looking, Anthavishwasi. What all galis, what all abusive words you can find out from the lexicon can be given to the folk. Why they are considering them so? In the Western nations, they never consider the forest dwellers or the so-called tribals as human beings even. Take it from me. Some 110 years back, there was a case in Supreme Court of the so-called world police. Nowadays, they are making so many troubles on the neighborhood of our nation also, America. That in American court, Supreme Court, there was a case considering the trial was going on about a murder case. And in that murder case, so many people were engaged. A group of black were also accused and some white people were also accused. Do you know what was the judgment? In that judgment, the judge acquitted all white men. And what was the reason of the convicting of the black people? He said, without any shame, he has said that white are human beings. That's it. That means what? The black are, the so-called folk are not human beings. That was their consideration. And these Western people, when they came Bharat, they also thought that our Vanavasis, our Dehatis, our Sannyasis, our Rishis, they cannot be considered as equal to the people who are living in the cities, people who have been educated in the modern education system. So they said that these folk are different from Bharat's mainstream. New word has been created, mainstream. They have given us all that padavi, at that pada, that we are all mainstream. And the lok, the real lok are not mainstream. This type of division has been created. Just as I have said, this division will be एक प्रकार से खत्म हो जाएगा भारत को स्वतंत्रता मिलने के बाद, ऐसा हमने सोचा. लेकिन unfortunately those came to power, they were more than English people or Westerners in practicing their own methods. They themselves were claiming that we are the last Englishmen who are leading or ruling this Bharat, this India. That was their claim itself. In that way, they never tried, they never introduced any new law so that these Lok people can also be the mountain dwellers, the forest dwellers, the real persons who created this nation through a purposeful creative dialogue, samvad with all groups of people. They were neglected, they were sidelined again. So if you want to strengthen this nation, we have to reinvent that great unity. We have to focus upon our real culture, our civilization, which united this nation as a whole. United this nation as a whole. What was the real reason of that unity? That is our culture, our civilization, which has been created by all groups of this nation. We cannot consider that the city dwellers alone are the real reason of this nation. ये राष्ट्र सब प्रकार के लोगों के बौद्धिक कंट्रीब्यूशन से, इंटेलेक्चुअल कंट्रीब्यूशन से बना हुआ राष्ट्र है. When we are conducting Lokmanthan, some among us are of the misconception that we are going to organize a tribal celebration. It is not at all related to any race or caste. It is not at all related or confined to any geographical consideration. It is about Bharat. That's why I said it is to identify the knowledge tradition of this land. It is to celebrate that knowledge tradition, and also we have to re-establish, reinstate that great knowledge tradition based on unity, Sanatana principle. This Sanatana principle is being followed all groups of this great land, all groups of this great land. So Lokmanthan is aiming this sacred purpose, and with that sacred purpose we have started Lokmanthan. The journey of Lokmanthan started from 2016. It has already been mentioned by the master of this program. Already mentioned in 2016. That was in Bhopal. It was a grand success, there is no doubt about that. I would like to mention one small example happened in the Bhopal Lokmanthan during the preparatory work of the Lokmanthan. Before Lokmanthan commenced, there was a Bhumi Puja for tent creation or the Pandal construction. Who should be the Pujari? Who should be the Purohita for that puja? We were all discussing about that. Then someone from our group has suggested that the supremo of the Agaria community, the most primitive community in Jabalpur forest area, must be invited, and he should conduct the puja of Vastu Puja. We never considered that some city born and Sanskrit educated, some pujari is to be booked. I don't want to name the caste. So this Agaria community has also got their own method of puja. So he was invited, and when the puja was starting, there was the program's Yajamana, none other than the Mukhyamantri, today's Agriculture Minister, Central Agriculture Minister, Mananiya Shivrajji Chauhanji, Yajamana Patni Shivrajji's wife, all other speaker and everyone was there. Sangh ka sarkari, us samay ke sarkari ho, abhi ka sarkari ho, Dattaji were all present there in that puja, Vastu Puja. Before Vastu Puja began, that particular Agaria Mukhya, he was saying something, some prose he was reciting. In that prose I heard some geographical terms like Kashmira, Kaiswanka, just like Kumari, Dravida. These type of words were resonating from his mantra. I asked one person, what is he saying? What is the artha? What is the meaning of those words? I heard some places names. Then that particular person told me that I can explain it after this puja. After that puja, along with that Agriya Pujari, we sat together and I heard a wonderful and pleasant shock I have got. What was that pleasant shock? He said that this Agaria chief never went out of that dense forest of Jabalpur, was saying that the positive forces, the heavenly divine forces from Kashmir, Vanga, Punjab, Kanyakumari, Dravida, all should come here and make our this sacred initiative a success. My point is that, see, the so-called English educated or so-called classic people, we never think about Kashmiram, we never think about Vanka, we never think about Kumari when we are doing something here in Telangana. But those people, that's why I already said, they still enrich us, they still saving, preserving that great consciousness of this nation. He never went out of forest, but he know what are the contours of this great land. Our cultural contours, he knows very well. That's why he said, the positive divine forces from Kumari to Kashmiram, Kutch to Kamarup, not in this way, but in his own way. He was saying, in a way, he was repeating the geographical unity, cultural unity of this great nation. Who can say that nation was not present here before Britain came here? Some are saying so. Some are still propagating so. Recently, when the 75th year of Bharat's independence struggle started by our Honorable Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi ji, some 2-3 years back itself he has started creating an intellectual atmosphere for the 75th year of independence. When those programs were going on, some people were a bit disturbed. ऐसा लोग हैं हमारे बीच में, मैंने बताया ना, so-called seculars. They were a bit disturbed. One among from that group, I don't want to name that. One thing I would like to say, a lady journalist, जाने माने हैं. She tweeted, "Arey o Baba." Baba means at that time, just after Corona, our Narendra Modi ji has long beard at that time. That's why she is saying, "Arey o Baba, where was your India before Britain came here?" See how shamelessly, how cruelly they are ridiculing this nation's parambara. She was asking, "Arey Baba, where was your India before Britain came here?" It was only a landmass in between Burma and Afghanistan. It was only a landmass in between Burma and Afghanistan. One of my very good friend replied it through Twitter. Comments say उन्होंने reply किया. Yes, madam. Maybe because of that, your conclusion is correct. India was not before Britain came here. That is why Britain founded a company to conduct trade here and named it British East Landmass in between Burma and Afghanistan Company. You know, British East India Company, not only British East India Company, Portugal or French, they all made their own companies in the name of India, Bharat. It was there. But these guys are not considering it. But compare a so-called illiterate forest dweller who is remembering about the greatness of this land. He might not have what you rendered that Samskrita sloka of Vishnu Purana, Uttaram yat samudrasya himadre chaiva dakshinam varsham tat bharatam nama bharati yatra santati. But in his language, tribal language, he recited the very same thing, the cultural and geographical contours of this great land. They are preserving it. In the real sense of the word, the addressing them as they, that itself is wrong, but those who are preserving it are to be celebrated. That is the main purpose of Lokmanthan. So, in that function, so many such creators of our knowledge, both so-called classic and so-called Lok, all came together. Rajiv Malhotra ji was also on the stage. And at the same time, on the very same stage, the Tagariya community leader was also there. Usually there is no dearth of intellectual seminars and deliberations in our land. Many cities are fed up with this type of intellectual jargons and seminars. In AC, air-conditioned room and halls, these guys will come from Mumbai, Bangalore, sit together and think about everything below the sky and above the earth. And after getting the, paisa from the organizers, they will go back. These type of intellectual deliberations are abandoned in our land. Of course, the tribal exhibitions are also there. But here in Lokmanthan, it is not mere intellectual discussions. It is, in a way, synchronizing both knowledge together and finding out the unity, the roots of unity. So in the very same stage, all groups of people will come and they will discuss. In that way, Bhopal Lokmanthan, focusing on decolonizing Indian minds. You know, Indian minds are to be decolonized, then only Bharatiya mind will emerge. Now we are all Indian minds. We have to decolonize it. That was the main theme. And then, after 2 years, this is a biannual or biennial event. It is a binale, once in 2 years. So in 2018, Lokmanthan repeated there in Ranchi, Jharkhand, Ranchi. At that time, we have decided the subject must be a bit positive. Decolonizing mind is not a full stop, it is only a comma. The sentence is to be completed. What should it be? We have to fill up the vacant or empty minds with some positive thoughts. So Bharatiya Bodh was the second Lokmanthan's topic. Jana Gana Mana. And then it has to be conducted, organized in 2020, but because of the Wuhan corona, we were not able to conduct it in 2020. And then 2022, after 4 years, it was conducted, organized in Guwahati. At that time, we have decided the topic must be Loka Parambara, the tradition. Loka tradition is to be discussed. And that was also a grand success, a huge success. Near about 3.5 lakh footfalls were there to see the exhibitions and all. And that it must be in Bhagyanagar. So Lokmanthan, Bhagyanagar, we have decided to conduct here in Shilpakala Vedika on November 21, 22, 23, 24. On 21st, there will be a grand inauguration. Some may think that this curtain raiser itself will become this huge. It is a huge function. So I am so proud of the workers of Prajna Bharati and Sanskara Bharati and Vijnana Bharati and all Karyakartas of Bhagyanagar that to conduct this type of a program. We meant only a small function to announce the committee, but it itself became a big Lokmanthan. So what is going to happen on 21, I can't just imagine. You all have to organize that and make it more and more colorful. Invite all other cities, the duty of you all. So 21, there will be an exhibition inauguration. Exhibition totally concentrating, committed to the Lok culture of this great land. That's the 21st program. On 22nd, there will be inauguration, formal inauguration of the Lokmanthan. All these 4 days, I would like to announce one more thing. Our Pujaniya Sarsangachalak Dr. Mohanji Bhagavat will be with us for all these 4 days. And our Mata Amritanandamayi's daughter is here. Generally, Amma is calling us as sons and daughters. We are all makkals of Amma. And Mataji's Valsala Putri is here. And I am requesting Mataji, I have already met Mata Amritanandamayi there, and I am requesting her daughter, Suvidyamrita ji, to make use of your good office to invite and bring Mataji's sacred feet also to Bhagyanagar. And she has, in principle, she has agreed to come here and she will also be there. And so many others, including Mahamahim Rashtrapati ji. Last year itself, she has agreed to participate in our Lokmanthan. So our Honorable Minister is here. Immediately, Minister ji and our Cabinet Minister, Krishna Reddy ji, all will with our workers here, meet Mahamahim Rashtrapati ji and invite her for the inauguration. And so many people, especially this time, not only from the political Bharat, Brihat Bharat se bhi log aayenge. Brihat Bharat, so called Akhanda Bharat se bhi log aayenge. Not only Akhanda Bharat, from Jambu Dvipa also people will come. You know Jambu Dvipa. Jambu Dvipe Bharata Gande Bharata Varshe. We are all reciting that mantra when we are making Sankalpa. What is Jambu Dvipa? Actually, Jambu Dvipa is the greater cultural zone of our continent. So there also people are very much eager to participate in the Lokmanthan. So our work has started in Burma, Indonesia, Bali जैसा जगह से भी लोग इस बार आने वाला है. So Bhagyanagar Lokmanthan has got a bhagya, luck. To our Bhagyanagar people has got a luck, to fortune, to host a Lokmanthan which is in the true sense of the word Lok. अभी तक केवल भारत से था, अभी बृहत्तर भारत से, अखंड भारत से, जम्बूद्वीप से, and also even we have started contacting people from Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, type of so-called pagan nations also will participate. Pagan word is not correct. I am saying that the religions which were pre-Abrahamic religions, before Abrahamic religions. So they are also, most probably almost all nations will be represented here. So such a big program is going to happen here. I am so happy that it is not necessary to say that your total cooperation and work is necessary. You are all working for it. Already for the last 2-3 months, the small committee formed has started work, and I am quite sure that it is going to be a big success. अंग्रेजी में एक कहावत है, well started is half done. So today we have started it good. So half the work is over. Now I don't want to elaborate much. Many of our speakers are here. Mataji is there here, and our Samavedam Shanmukha Sharmaji is there. Hanuman Chaudhary Garu is there. And also some functions are also to be conducted, so I don't want to elaborate much. In short, again, Lokmanthan is a platform for all type of communities to come together and deliberate elaborately about our culture, our civilization, and our great knowledge tradition. To identify it, to celebrate it, and re-establish it. That is the main aim of Lokmanthan. Through that, the binaries which are being created by some people are to be demolished. Their attempts are to be demolished. Nowadays, so many of them are trying for that division. It is to be exposed. That is also the need of this function. I don't want to explain much. Some may criticize it as political comments, but it is also needed. Some are trying to divide the nation on caste basis, on religious basis. Some are even using Paramashiva's photos to divide Bharat. That type of attempts are going on. So to find out it and expose it is also a need of the hour to strengthen this nation. Let us work together, make this Lokmanthan a great success. Namaskar, Vande Bharat.